And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,900 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Virginia, trying to get the best copy on our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the other is aimed at 134 degrees. In addition, 2 of the 3 may be rotated separately. They are selected by a 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA-5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this is an area of the band where we have many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our QSO-VLOG net to keep their band pass to no wider than 100 to 2900. Again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yeah, Jim, I do. Beautiful copy, 10 to 20. I do. Beautiful copy, 10 to 20 over 9 direct, as we don't have any SDR capability here. I've been away for 2 days. I just got back here half an hour ago, and I see little spots of snow on the ground from place to place, so it obviously snowed a little bit here, and right now it's 35 degrees. With a moderate west wind blowing and partly cloudy. So back to you, and I have a little bit of Captain Mike I recorded a week ago on that same time that I played the last week. However, this is earlier when we were on 20 meters, and he was located somewhere over Nebraska, and that was on 20 meters. Back to you, Jim, if you copy. K1GZL, you're probably using Milford.
Negative, Charlie. This afternoon I'm on Rochester. You're 20 over on the Rochester. Roger, roger.
You're 20 over on the Rochester. Roger, roger.
Okay, well, that's surprising. Okay, here is Captain Mike.
Miles right now to the northeast of Omaha at 370 with just under 1,000 miles still to go to Philly. And we're showing exactly 40 knots crosswind there from the north. We're doing about 470 knots here, and ETA is still about 1:50 Eastern time into Philadelphia there. The temperature up here is minus 47. No change in temperature. Surprisingly, we climbed up a couple thousand feet, but no change in temp. And you are 5'9 plus. Great copy there. K1GZL from KX4 Whiskey German.
Okay, Jim, how did that one come through?
Oh, excellent. I decided to check out Milford, and you were 25 over on Milford, so very good. Excellent, excellent. And I'm glad to see you on frequency this afternoon, Roger.
See you on frequency this afternoon, Roger.
Okay, I just barely made it. I just barely got home. It was a close call on getting home in time. However, everything is hunky-dory. Medically, I'm doing much, much better, and I don't have to go to any place until about the 28th or 29th of the month. So that's a blessing. I won't hold it too much longer. There may be a lot of people that would like to test out their rigs and get the word from the radio doctor, so to speak. It's always a pleasure, Jim. I did get back. I should be on next week and the following week without any problems whatsoever. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, roger, Charlie. Well, I'll call for you, and if you're there, you're there, and if not, I'll just make excuses where you're not there. 73, Charlie.
73, Charlie.
Right, 73, the very best, Jim.
Roger, roger. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG Net. My name is Jim, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. And we're running now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, along with today's date, 11/05/21, and that will take you to this recording. Now, if you just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're currently featuring 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings. You can check out a lot of folks' audio, say, I like his, I don't like his, I like mine better than his. It's all about options, so there you go. And so we'll be live till 5, recording now. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 3,
Victor Echo 3, Papa Charlie, Papa, Papa Charlie, Papa.
Papa Charlie Papa, this is KC9VKV. Good afternoon.
This is KC9VKV. Good afternoon.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Jim. Rod here. I'm just on my way home and using my remote station at home, using the cell phone in the truck connected to Bluetooth. So I just wanted to give you a quick check-in and say good afternoon. KC9VKV, D3PCP.
Wow, you're using your remote, Roger?
Wow, you're using your remote, Roger?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm using the remote at home, and I'm using my cell phone in the truck, and it's connected to Bluetooth, QSO.
Oh, man, you've got that thing dialed in perfect. That sounds really, really good. Nice, intelligible, good modulation, Roger.
Really good. Nice, intelligible, good modulation, Roger.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I hadn't, I don't think, talked to you through using the cell phone since I had done all the equalizer adjustments, so I'm glad that it's on your end. KC9VKV, D3PCP.
Roger, man, I tell you, I would hate to try to do anything with this cell phone. I mean, by and large, the cell phone frequency response is from here to there, maybe. I mean, it just, there's no really actual top-end syllabic range at all in cell phones. But you are doing an amazing job with one, Roger.
But you are doing an amazing job with one, Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, I didn't actually do anything to the cell phone. It's just connected to the Bluetooth in the vehicle, which is a 2013 Chevy Silverado. So it's always, has pretty good quality audio on it. So, and then of course back at home on the remote, it's the equalizer on the computer. That's the lineup from here. KC9VKV, D3PCP.
Roger. Well, I just went around my SDRs, and you're pretty hot down in Georgia, and Arlington, and Rochester, and Milford. You're hot everywhere, Roger.
You're hot everywhere, Roger.
Very good. Well, that's good to hear. I guess the band is maybe improving a little bit. I know the last few days things have been kind of flat on HS, and I was running some FG last night on 20 meters, and even with the beam, I couldn't get much beyond the Continental US on 20 meters, so it wasn't in very good shape. But hopefully it will be back up and operating again before too long. KC9VKV, D3PCP.
Roger. Well, you've done an amazing job. I'm really proud of that signal, man. Usually, remotes don't sound. I mean, you can always I can usually tell, if somebody's using a remote, but yours is just very transparent, Roger.
Remote, but yours is just very transparent, Roger.
Very good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, and I guess the old Chem with TS850 is doing the work that it's intended to. Anyway, I won't hold it up. I know there's others trying to get in and talk to you, so I appreciate the quick QSO and you being there every Friday and helping people out, and look forward to checking in with you again. 7-3 for this afternoon. KC9VKV, D3PCP.
Roger, 73 of that way. Stay warm. Join us next Friday if you get a chance. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG Net. We're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 4, Alpha Bravo.
I think there's a Whiskey 4 station.
I think this is a Whiskey 4 station.
Yeah, Roger, KC9VKV. This is Whiskey 4, Oscar Yankee. Good to see you. Made a few little changes here. Changed the mic on the 7300 and just checking in with you here today and see how things are going there on your receiver. It's a W4 Oscar Yankee. Back to you, Jim.
Roger, Roger. Well, just so happens Milford's shut down, so I moved off over to Arlington. You know, Arlington is the only SDR that is actually full frequency down to 100 cycles, and you do have a good audio curve from here to there, boy. Just really nice. So you know, you might use just a sprinkle more top end, but that's my pet peeve. You know, maybe a click or so more top, but you're good down in the bottom range to about 200, 150 cycles somewhere in there.
To about 200, 150 cycles somewhere in there.
Okay, Jim, there's one more click on the top end. W4 Oscar Yankee.
Yes, sir. I have somebody that feels like they must tune up on the frequency. I'm not sure exactly why, but, you know, we got them. Okay, and what's the name of that place?
We got them. Okay, and what's the name of that place?
Yeah, the name here, Jim, is Jeff. That's Juliet Echo Foxtrot, located here in the little state of Virginia, a little town of Withfield. That is Withfield, Virginia, here at 70 miles east of the Tennessee line there. QSL?
Roger, Roger, and that's a 7300?
Roger, Roger, and that's a 7300?
Yes, sir, 7300. That's what I'm running here today with the compression set as 3, as you always suggest. Have the mic gain there about 33%. And driving about 700 watts there, Jim, out of the ALS 1306, swinging about 2/3 scale on the ALC.
Roger, Roger, man. The ALC is the important thing. Just keep track of that ALC, mid scale to 2/3, and you're maxed out, right? Beautiful audio. That's just before the audio starts to bend, you know, and blur. So we just at 3 dB dynamic range, which is where you are now, sir.
So we just at 3 dB dynamic range, which is where you are now, sir.
Roger, Roger, Jim. Just wanted to say hi to you, and I switched to the Heil ICM series mic there, the desk mic, and just wanted to check in with you and wave my hand at you. I appreciate what you do there, Jim, as other hams should. Not many places that you can get a true audio check here on these receivers. But anyway, 73 to you, my friend. Have a wonderful weekend. This is W4 Oscar Yankee, back to Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. 73, Jim.
Roger, Roger, Jeff, 73 that way, sir. And remember, if you want to hear your audio, your beautiful audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV along with today's date, 11/05/21, will take you directly to this recording. 73, you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG.net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 2, Sierra Kilo Bravo.
November 2 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
November 2 station, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. This is November 2, Sierra Kilo Bravo. Over.
Sierra Kilo Bravo, Roger, Roger. And what's the name there?
Kilo Bravo, Roger, Roger. And what's the name there?
Oh, I'm sorry. The name here is Gus, Golf Uniform Sierra. I'm using a Yaesu 991 and the MD100 microphone. How am I sounding? Okay.
Well, let's see here. Where are you located, Gus?
Well, let's see here. Where are you located, Gus?
I'm located in Bangor, Pennsylvania. Over.
Pennsylvania, Roger. And give me that your radio that you're running one more time, slowly.
Roger. And give me that your radio that you're running one more time, slowly.
I'm using a Yaesu FT991. That's Yankee Foxtrot 991.
Over. Sierra Tango 991, Roger.
Sierra Tango 991, Roger.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a little. I appreciate you picking me up. I was just wondering how am I sounding out there. Usually I don't do too good. Over.
Looking pretty good. I would suggest a windscreen for that microphone. I did hear some transients passing through. First off, now you might want to double check your settings if you would. We recommend a compressor on at a 3, a token amount, but it does what we need it to do. So compression on at a 3, and then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reading mid-scale to 2/3.
Our ALC meter is reading mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, so basically what you're trying to tell me, I'm overdriving. Over.
Well, that's up to you and your ALC, sir. Then that's why, I suggest maybe sometimes you just run with the ALC on, and that would be the meter that would be the most important meter. Roger, roger.
That would be the most important meter. Roger, roger.
Okay, Jim. Thank you very much for your advice. I'll look into it. I don't have a clue. Thank you very much, and thank you for what you do out here. I'm pretty new out here, so kind of learning. 73, and thank you for your time. This is N2SKB.
Roger, roger. And now give me the call sign one more time, please.
Roger, roger. And now give me the call sign one more time, please.
November 2, Sierra, Kilo, Bravo. Over.
Yes, sir. Okay, and I would suggest that if you get a chance, crank in just a couple of clicks more top end EQ. Now you don't have to do that now. Do it at your leisure when you have time to. But I would add just a little more top end there. You have a nice bottom end on the curve, but you serve yourself well to have just a little more top end for clarity and articulation. Roger.
A little more top end for clarity and articulation. Roger.
Okay, thank you. I'll try to sort out as I go. Thank you. This is N2SKB. Have a good night.
Roger, Roger, got 73, sir, and if you want to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 11/5/21. That will take you to our QSO-VLOG. It'll actually take you to this recording. Call letter search KC9VKV along with today's date, 11/05/21, will take you to this recording. If you just do a YouTube search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG net page, and there you'll find over 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings to peruse through and check out a lot of other people's audio. So, Gus, 73 to you, sir. Have a good afternoon. Thanks for dropping by. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Alpha 9, Victor Tango Lima.
There's an Alpha 9 in my life. Alpha 9, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
In my life, Alpha 9, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, Kilo Alpha 9, Victor Tango Lima. The name's Dennis, Delta Echo November, India, Sierra. And I am located up here in Elkhart, Indiana. So, background music, Jim, KC9VKV from KA9VTL.
Roger, Roger, Dennis. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, Roger, Dennis. And what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running a ICOM 7610. And I'm driving a ACOM 700S amplifier, about 700 watts peak, about what I'm running here today. Go ahead.
Okay, audio curve is nice, and you're around 3 dB dynamic range. Have you checked out your, what is that button, quick? Punch up quick for just a minute.
Button quick. Punch up quick for just a minute.
Okay.
And quick takes you to drive.
And quick takes you to drive.
All right.
And what is your drive reading?
And what is your drive reading?
Okay, we're,
Lost it again.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last.
drive gain is 43%.
All right, take that drive up to 65, and let me hear you.
Drive up to 65, and let me hear you.
Okay, there is 65 right there.
All righty, and tell me about, in 10 or 15 seconds, about your antenna system.
Tell me about, in 10 or 15 seconds, about your antenna system.
Okay, the antenna is a center-fed ZIP. I'm running out from the amplifier into an old MFJ 989C, and going through engineering bellum that's up on the mast, and there's about 43 feet of open wire feed line going up to the antenna there, and the antenna is about 30 feet in the air. There we go.
All right, I've got you on my local antenna, and you're just beautiful, just beautiful. If you have a good radio story, I would love for you to give me about a 2-minute radio story, if you happen to have one in your repertoire, so I would have this nice, beautiful audio recording.
Okay. Well, this gets a lot of compliments. Did lose the height of my antenna here last summer at field day. Got a phone call and said, you might want to go home. You got a tree on your house. Well, it was also part of what was holding up the antenna at 70 feet. So right now I'm waiting till the leaves come off the trees and get her back up in the air. But I had, I spent about 4 hours on 15 meters last Saturday. Managed to log 60 contacts in 23 countries. And one of them I have been trying to get a hold of and not been able to hit very easily was Kuwait. So that was, and also got Qatar out of that. So very good weekend of DXing there. Go ahead.
Roger, Dennis. Well, with your drive at 65, you may notice that your RF is quite a bit more extended, so you have a lot fatter audio, just beautiful, and no blurs, just loud. Roger.
Okay, that's what we want. I've always gotten good reports off I love running this 2-meter rig gets in there. I love running this ACOM amp. Always been partial to ceramic tube audio, but ACOM has done their homework very, very well, and very happy with the amp. Have not gotten a bad comment on it. A lot of good comments, but I've never had to drive up this far, so that's interesting. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, yes it is. Now I caution you: you want to stay on mic. Do not pull off mic, because everything is designed to keep that modulation up. And if you move off axis to the microphone, it's going to try to keep that up, and if it's mud there, it's going to be mud. So you want to stay focused on mic as much as you can, Roger.
Yeah, I try to. It's been one of those, I've been professional as a professional musician and do a lot of backup work. With the mics, you get off to the side of it, or you got to hit them head on, and I stay about 4 to 6 inches off from it, and it seems to be the best result. Otherwise, too close and it turns to mud, and I try and about 4 or 5 inches seems to be the magic number here. Go ahead.
Yeah, right exactly where you are now. Mark it down in space. You want to be right there, because you have very balanced, and your audio is just unbelievable. And if you go to YouTube and do a call to search for KC9VKV, along with today's date 11/05/21, we'll take you directly to this recording, and give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. Well, we'll probably have it uploaded by noon tomorrow or thereabouts. Roger.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Sounds good. All right, thanks for the comments, sir, and Thanks for hanging around the frequency and doing this. KC9VKV, KA9VTL.
Roger, Dennis 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, the QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 3.
Kilowatt 8, November uniform, K8NU.
Kilowatt 8 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Okay, Jim, this is Kilo 8, November uniform, K8NU.
And the name, please?
The name is Carl, C-A-R-L, and I'm in Columbus, Ohio, Jim.
And what radio, sir?
Yaesu FTDX101D, and I have a brand new microphone on it.
Okay, give it to me one more time, a little bit slower.
Yeah, it's a Yaesu FTDX101D, FTDX101 Delta, and I'm using a Mercury 3S amplifier.
Alrighty. If you would be interested, I think we can get you a little bit fatter.
Okay, not real sure. I've got all the EQ turned off on this rig because people are telling me the microphone sounds pretty good as it is. I'm wondering what you think.
Well, let's start with our generic setup. It starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount. You'll never hear it on the air, but it does exactly what we need it to do. So compressor on at a 3.
It's on. What did you say about level?
3 out of 10, 30 out of 100, Roger.
Okay, well, I'm not sure what you're saying here. Let me get the AC, mic gain and AC. Okay, I have to change a few things on the menu to do that. Hold on.
Yeah, we're just looking for a third of the compressor capabilities. So if you have depending on your input, if it's labeled 1 to 10, we want it on a 3. If it's labeled 1 to 100, we want it on 30. Roger?
Okay, well, right now the compressor is not on anything. It's at a 1, which is not much of anything. Here's a 3. Compressor is now on 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I can bring it all up to, say, a 10. It's at 10 now. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, just leave it at a 3. What's your input? Is it 1 to 10 or 1 to 100?
The input on the rig is 1 to 100. I'm running an amplifier right now. I can drop it off and just run 100 watts.
No, I'm talking about the input level to the compressor. Is the input level 1 to 10 or 1 to 100 as far as level into the compressor?
I see what you mean. Hold on here. It's all the way up to 100, it looks like.
All right, so then we want to put it on a 30 out of 100. Roger?
Okay, now it's on a 30. 1, 2, 3, 4 on 30. Go ahead.
All right, now, excuse me, I want you to move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, adjust your mic gain into your ALC as reading mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, ALC is way up there now. Let me get the mic gain down. 1, 2, 3, 4. What level did you... Now, let's see. Is 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3. It's about a third up.
All right, we're looking for mid-scale to 2/3. And you need to speak rapidly because if you just go 1, 2, 3, the meter never has a chance to come up so you can read it. So you need to speak, your cadence needs to be fairly quick, 100, 200, 300, as you adjust your mic gain for a reading of mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC.
Alrighty. 100, 100, 100, 100, 200, 200, 200, 200. Whoops. It moves pretty rapidly here, Jim. It's 100, 100, 100. Now it's mid-scale, just a little over mid-scale. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, mid-scale to 2/3. Roger, Roger?
Roger, Roger.
All right. Now, I would suggest that you keep your ALC meter displayed. And as you, for the next week or so, matter of fact, and as you speak to other folks, I want you to look at your ALC meter and start developing a relationship between your voice and the ALC meter. Like I say, the nice place that you want that meter is mid-scale to 2/3. So you want your voice to keep that meter up at the mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC.
Okay, very good. It looks like it's Yeah, it's just about there now. It's good advice.
Roger. It looks still a little loose, but I think you'll get the hang of it. And a lot of it has to do with cadence. Like I say, if you're speaking like that, the meter never gets a chance to accurately display what it's doing. So the only time that you'll ever really be able to see that meter functioning correctly is if your cadence is up, and your words are similar ballistically to each other. Roger?
Okay, very good. How does it sound to you as far as bass and treble right now, Jim?
I think you need a little more top, 3 clicks more top end EQ if you have it. 3 clicks boost EQ, treble EQ from where you are.
Okay, very good. I've got everything set off right now as far as the EQ adjustments here on this rig, just to see how the microphone is doing. But I can put a little more top end on it.
All right, you want me to stand by and let you engage your equalizer and go +3. Is it a 3-band EQ, 2-band, 8-band, or what is the EQ?
It's a 3-band.
Okay, in a 3-band EQ, you always want to keep your mid-band 0, neither cut nor boost. Mid-band is always flat, and then you adjust the top and the bottom to balance the mid-range. If you boost the mid-range, then you've got a problem. It's more of a problem for your top to balance to mid-range and your bottom to balance to mid-range because you boosted mid-range. So you want to keep the mid-range flat, and then go to treble EQ at the moment and +3 from where you are.
Okay, I'm boosting the third level here to 2,500 hertz and level 3.
All right, take that on up. As you were +10, is that a max on your treble EQ?
Yes, +10 now, right now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, take it to a +5.
All right, here's +5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, and tell me 10 seconds or 15 about your antenna system.
Oh, okay. Currently I'm running a Cushcraft R8 vertical. I'm running a Cushcraft R8 vertical that I just finally got to tuned way down at the low end, and I had to adjust it. And now it's working pretty well. It covers everything from 40 meters all the way up to 6 meters. I also have a dipole that runs 80 meters through 10 meters, which I had been using all along on 40 until I got the vertical picked up. And that's about what I have here, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger, Carl, let me ask you now. We want that radio to be in 100 to 2900 bandpass. Radio should run in 100 to 2900 bandpass. Roger?
100 to 2900. Okay, I can set that up. Okay, I think that's on a different setting in this menu here. Got it. Get back to it now. Radio settings. Hey, let me see. Okay, it's at 100, 2900 now. Oops, no it isn't. I have to change something before I can do that. Okay, does this sound any different now to you, Jim? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. It's a lot fuller. You always want to run that radio 100 to 2900. There's no reason to sacrifice any part of that radio. And so 100 to 2900 is, the best way to run it. If you have options of band passes, I would put them all at 100 to 2900 so you can just run that radio that way. Roger?
Okay, my problem earlier with another mic is I had too much bass when I did that. How's the bass sound to you now?
All right, tell me the best thing you like about your radio and let me look at you.
Best thing about my radio, I guess, it's the VC tune connection. It's kind of like a pre-selector like they had on the old Drake radios. And using it, you can eliminate QRM and peak people and just do all kinds of wonderful things. Go ahead.
Alrighty, I would suggest, what are you at +5 on your treble EQ now?
Say again, you were fading out there.
Sorry, you're +5 on your treble EQ at the moment?
+5 on treble, you say?
Yeah, is that where you are now?
Okay, QSC is kind of getting it. Yeah, it's +5 right now. Go ahead.
I take it on up to +7, 2 clicks boost above where you are to +7 treble EQ, Roger?
Okay, it's now at +7, Jim.
Alrighty, and let me hear you again. Tell me if you've got a radio story. I would like a radio story if you've got one.
Oh my goodness, so many.
Radio story if you've got one.
Oh my goodness, so many. I've been licensed since 1954. Let me see if I can think of the best one. I can remember being on field day I was probably about 13 years old, and working CW. And the old guys around there just couldn't believe a young kid could work CW, and they were hovering over me and looking over my shoulder. And as I started racking up the contacts, they started nodding their heads and just walked away.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer, and it looks like you're rolling off now at about 350 cycles. So you could do about 3 clicks bass boost. 3 clicks bass boost from where you are.
3 clicks bass boost. 3 clicks bass boost from where you are.
Okay, let me do that. There's one with the processor on and one with the processor off. So I'm doing the processor on right now. 300. There's at 400 hertz now.
Alrighty, and talk to me for a minute and let me listen to you again.
Okay, and QSC is starting to get you, Jim. I hope it's not getting me there. I'm running about 800 watts. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I would do a little more treble boost now. I would take it on up to 10. Plus 10, and let me hear you.
Okay, here we go. Up to...
Hear you.
Okay, here we go. Up to +10. Now it's +10. Go ahead.
Oh, I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now I would like a few seconds of recording at this setup. So, if you have another story, you feel free.
So, if you have another story, you feel free.
Okay. You're challenging me there, Jim. If I can think of another story here. Let's see. I can remember back in the old days when everything was AM. And I wanted to be on sideband so bad I couldn't stand it. And I had a nice Viking Valiant transmitter for AM, but of course it didn't have sideband. So I ended up trading it in on a Gonset GSP 100, which is a far inferior rig compared to the Valiant, but it did work single sideband. So that got me on the air with the newest mode to me at the time. Go ahead.
Roger, Carl. Well, our signal's kind of dying out there. I'll tell you what, why don't you back off down on the bottom? I can't hear you clear enough to be sure, but so I want you to back off 1 click bass boost, and I know you'll be just absolutely fine there. Roger.
Okay, let me get back to where that is on the menu. Level 1, it's at level 1 now, and I backed it off 1 click.
Okay, so we're still now like 2 clicks bass boost?
Not exactly here. Let me see. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Okay, level -1. Okay, here we go.
Let's see. So what was the, you went +2 bass boost, or did you go +3 originally?
No. I haven't boosted it at all. It was just set at 400 hertz as the EQ1 frequency, and the level was 0. And now I just brought it down to -1.
All right, sounds good. And we wish we had better conditions right at the moment. My frequency meter reads everything that's on there, and if it looks at noise the same way it looks at a voice. When the voice gets into the noise, it's hard to read it. Roger.
Okay, yeah, you just came up a little bit too, so that's good. I really appreciate this, Jim. You say you have a recording I can listen to?
Yes, sir. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 11/5/21, will take you directly to this recording. So it's a YouTube search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 11/5/21, will take you to this recording. Now, if you just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we have now over 1,900 QSO-VLOG recordings. Roger?
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it now. That's very nice. It's very nice of you to do this. How are you doing the recording, Jim?
It's all digital, and we do video and audio, and then post it up on YouTube. Roger.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay. Very good. That's pretty good. I'm listening to myself on my monitor now, and it really does sound good. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, like I say, if you go to YouTube and do that, call it a search, KC9VKV, with today's date, 11/5/21, it'll bring up this recording, and you be the judge. Carl 73, sir, thanks for dropping by.
Who be the judge? Carl 73, sir, thanks for dropping by.
73, Jim. Thank you. This is K8NU. I'm clear.
This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Victor Kilo.
There was somebody there. I just came back on Georgia SDR, and I caught about half of it. Station calling, a lot of station calling. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
A lot of station calling. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
Whiskey Baker 8, Delta Mike X-ray.
Victor Kilo.
There's a Delta Mike something station. Come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, Delta Mike.
Station, come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, Delta Mike.
Yes, sir. That's Whiskey Baker 8, Delta Mike X-ray. Kevin here in Columbus, Ohio. Good afternoon.
Roger, Kevin. And let's see, you're in Ohio. And what radio are you running, sir?
You're in Ohio. And what radio are you running, sir?
I run a TR4C Drake. Going to the L4B, which is on standby, the QSL.
All righty. Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, sir?
Why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, sir?
The setup here, the 40-foot BX tower here behind the shack here. My vertical is a Hustler 5B TV. It's about 20 feet from the behind the shack there on the opposite side of the yard there. We don't have too much space, but there you have it there. The little small community where I live at there for sure. They're over.
All right. TR4C, let's see, you don't have any onboard EQ or compression, Roger?
That is correct.
All righty. Where's your mic gain currently standing on that radio?
Sitting exactly 12 o'clock.
Just out of curiosity, could you advance that to 3 o'clock and let me hear you?
Okay. Without no processor, it doesn't have a processor on this rig here, but that's the right there at 3 o'clock.
Roger, yeah. Back to noontime. You get fatter, but you also get a little more ragged, Roger?
Yeah, QSL, I'll kind of back it down a bit more. That should change everything right there for you, over.
All right. Now, what kind of mic are you running?
I'm running a straight factory mic with that there. It's the 600 ohm hand mic there. Go ahead.
All right. I'm just thinking about maybe trying to get a little more top end out of that. How far away are you working that mic?
About a pencil length from my mouth there. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, in inches?
I say about 6.5 inches.
All right, I think that's pretty good there. If you get closer, there's a thing called proximity effect. And if you get closer, things start to get bassier. But let's try 10 o'clock on your audio mic gain control, and then I want you to come up. What type of mic is that? Is that a desk mic?
That'd be a straight hand mic on this rig there, over.
Okay. What I want you to do is take your mic gain down to a 10, which is about 11 o'clock, 11:30 on your control there. And I want you to bring that mic up to the side of your mouth and talk across it. Don't talk into it, but pull it to the corner of your lips, actually touching your lips, and talk across it. Roger, let me hear you.
Okay, that should be right in that area there for you there on this end. We do have that on the side, like you did say there, over.
All right, pull that down to 9 o'clock, that mic gain. Pull it down to 9 o'clock, and let me hear you.
This is Whiskey Bravo 8, Delta Mike X-Ray, WB8DMX.
Roger, probably better where you were, sir. Volume at noon and about 6 inches back. I was looking for an effect. Sometimes when you get closer to mic, you get a fuller sound, not just bass build up, which is proximity effect, but you also get a nice upper mids and top end too. But in your case, it just I can hear this distortion somewhere in there. I'm not sure exactly where it's coming from, but don't want to rattle too many cages. So I would say bring that mic gain back to noontime, and we'll call it close enough.
Okay, now she's exactly at noontime there, exactly 12 o'clock there for sure. I had it set there, and like I did say, no processing whatsoever on this rig there. So it's a tube type there, over.
Yes, sir. Now, you could bring that radio screaming into the current times by a little outward processing, outward EQ and compression would just, that radio would just sound so marvelous with that, and probably would not cost very much, like maybe $100, $120, something like that. Just bring that radio right into today, Roger.
Oh yeah, QSO. I heard a lot of guys talking to me about that, and I'm thinking about doing that before Christmas time. It might be a gift to want to get the unit like that set up for this radio, over.
Roger. Now, the only distortion that I think could be happening there is you might be getting some RF into your AF. So what you want to do is be sure that your antenna transmission line is moving away from everything, away from the radio at a right angle, and not, being coiled up somewhere or whatever, Just that transmission line, we don't want any RF leakage back into your audio, Roger.
The trunk cable is going to the tower, tail cable, half-inch there, small, and commercial grade there, going out from the wall out to the tower and stuff like that there. But I'm going to have that checked out ASAP. It'll be first thing tomorrow there when weather provides it. Go ahead.
Okay, I did hear some severe distortion in that last transmission. It was really severe. It sounded like a duck. So it might be that, let's see, you're using a hand mic. Try pulling the hand mic cord straight off from the radio. Expand the coil, if you will, and try to move that mic away from the radio, like maybe 4 feet, 3 feet, something like that, and let me hear you.
Like maybe 4 feet, 3 feet, something like that, and let me hear you.
Well, I'm in a recliner chair. That's why I'm in a recliner chair away from the rig there itself. And I'm talking in it right there. I'll say about 3 feet from the table.
Roger. Well, like I say, it did get strange. And it was really severe, to the point that I had a really good signal, but I couldn't understand what you were saying. So I'm assuming it was an audio thing,
So I'm assuming it was an audio thing,
Been getting guys been good audio quality coming from it there for sure, but how they were the older rigs there for sure. But I'm gonna end up getting newer mic board and stuff here in about a week here on this thing for sure there. DMX Friday.
Roger, it's occurring on the peaks, and it is pretty severely distorted from time to time, related to the peaks. And so if you have another microphone handy, if you would try that, I would listen for that, Roger.
If you would try that, I would listen for that, Roger.
have no extra mic whatsoever. I got the original one from the factory and it's been with the rig since I bought it back in 75 there. But I'm upgraded to a D105 probably if I get a chance and find one.
Roger, Roger. Well, like I say, it's got some severe distortion now. Maybe try manipulating your mic gain control. You know, maybe you've got a dirty pot. Doesn't sound like that, but that's the only thing I could think of. Maybe manipulate that pot back and forth, up and down, and then come back to 12 and let me hear you.
Back and forth, up and down, and then come back to 12 and let me hear you.
Yeah, I changed a few things around and stuff. Did that change anything a whole lot better?
That's very clear there. No trouble at all now.
That's very clear there. No trouble at all now.
My SWR was off just a little bit there. That's what made a problem there for sure. The SWR was off a little bit there on the rig there. Actually, like I said, should clear it up. Should have no distortion whatsoever now.
No, very clear. Now, how did you adjust your SWR?
Very clear. Now, how did you adjust your SWR?
I'm using the MM2000 tuner. I was going through the tuner with that there, and it was off there. It was 3 to 1 there, and I got it down to 1 to 1.
Roger. Well, that may be, you know, because it's clean now. Well, thank God for easy fixes, Roger.
Thank God for easy fixes, Roger.
You got that right, my dear friend. Well, I tell you, I don't have nothing here solid state. Everything here is all tubes and stuff. We've been in the family for many, many moons and stuff. I'm a big AM operator here at nighttime on the Viking 2 there, and I had modifications done to the audio section and redid the interstage transformer inside that there, and then I've been getting a lot of stuff like that right on with the SC300 receiver.
Roger, sounds beautiful. Let me get out of here while we're still sounding good. And 73, Kevin, have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend.
Sounding good. And 73, Kevin, have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend.
Hey, thanks a lot for helping me out there. Really appreciate that very much out there on this end, my friend. Be blessed. Enjoy the weekend. Have a fine one. From William Baker 8, Delta Mike X-Ray here in beautiful downtown Columbus, Ohio.
Roger, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. And let's see, I was going to do something. Let me see. Well, I was. Okay. Yes. A moment of indecision. Script is upside down. Very good, James. Let me turn my head upside down to read it. And now, time for another thrilling edition of Adventures in Radioland. This segment, Thinking Outside the Box. From time to time, I mention the fact that the actual heart of one's Radio Shack is the audio monitoring system. It is the incoming half of your QSO or contest. It makes possible the voice of your friends or your contacts around the world. It is that critical necessity for making two-way communications possible. And let's face it, audio reality does not reside within a 3-inch speaker inside a very small box that is your transceiver. There's just not enough cubes. This is the major downfall of all transceivers. It is the number one major shortcoming filter of your HF receiver. You can't really talk about EQ curves or audio balance until you have an audio system that can truly reproduce the range of audio involved. So you need to think outside the box. That small box. The box I'm talking about is your transceiver. Get your audio out of the box and plug it into reality. Plug it into your radio, your radio speaker out with a nice full-range house monitor system. You deserve to hear what's really going on. And I don't mean a pair of $15 computer speakers, which I guess would be better than what your radio speaker's doing now. But for under $50 at Walmart, you can get a nice full-range Logitech speaker system. Check out their Logitech speaker system with subwoofer. Now, with the subwoofer, you can get on down to 100 cycles. You probably can get down to 40 cycles with a subwoofer. You don't need a Bose, but you do need to get something that will reproduce the bottom end correctly down to at least 100 cycles or so. Speaker systems with subwoofers can easily do that, and for under $50. And you spend $1,000 for a really great radio, you deserve to get the most out of it. And since I've been evaluating radios very closely on the QSO-VLOG net, I've noticed more and more radios with much fatter audio curves on my spectrum analyzer, transmit audio curves that go down to 100 cycles or so. But a word of caution, if your transmit audio content does go down to 100 cycles, you must make sure that in the rest of the audio, particularly the upper end, has plenty of content for balance. Otherwise, you'll sound muddy. A spectrum analyzer would be of great help in fine-tuning your transmit audio balance. So, but step up to today. Utilize the tools we have available, and if you get a chance, you might drop by Walmart and pick up one of those Logitech $40 subwoofer speaker systems. You won't believe what a difference it makes, and when you plug it in and be able to hear what's really going on. And I'm not being paid by Walmart. I'm just saying that system for under $50 is just an amazing system for the price that will really get your audio going in your shack, and you'll be able to hear precisely what's going on. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Your QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 3, Golf Kilo Victor. Golf Kilo Victor.
Golf Victor Kilo.
Golf Kilo Victor station. Come back slowly with your call sign again, please.
Golf Kilo Victor station.
Okay, Jim. Yes, this is Bob from near Allentown, PA. The call is November 3, Golf Kilo Victor. Just got done putting up a new antenna, and just wanted to see how everything is working out and sounding. Back to you.
Okay, gosh, what radio are you running first, Bob?
What radio are you running first, Bob?
Okay, yes, Jim, we're running the Yaesu FT-DX101D. That's the radio here, and we're using your Electro Voice RE27ND microphone.
All right, give me 10 or 15 seconds. Tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can get you on my local antenna.
Just tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can get you on my local antenna.
Okay, very good.
I'm doing 32-foot end fed, which is only about 30 feet. I also have a 40-meter dipole up at a similar height with a slightly different orientation. And then this afternoon I just got done putting up a 40-meter end fed, which has a different orientation. And as it turned out, a little bit of it is now there's a flat top for almost all, but maybe 8 or 9 feet is in a vertical configuration now. So that's the antenna I'm on, and that's I want to see how things are working. Back to you.
Roger, I'm copying you on my local antenna. You're about 8 over my noise level. I'm looking at your audio curve on a spectrum analyzer. You have a nice bottom end, but you need a little more top end for articulation. I would crank in plus 3 top end treble boost from where you are.
Okay, Jim. Yeah, unfortunately, this has the 3-band parametric, and those things are kind of maxed up. And I just tried. Let me just try one thing and just see if that changes the sound of this at all. Just 1 second.
What type of EQ do you have on that radio?
Okay, this is a 3-band parametric EQ, and I just made one change over what I was doing before, and it just changed the bandwidth a little bit. But and I had been running the 100 to 29, but just wondering if this helps at all with the high end.
A little bit. Now you are running 100 to 2900, Roger.
Well, no, I was 100 to 29 the first time, and then when you had mentioned that we were a little light on the high end, I put it now on the 50 to 3050.
No, yeah, keep it 100 to 2900. Otherwise, you'll have folks coming to visit you with pitchforks, Roger.
No, okay. Yeah, no, so this, right now I'm back at the 100 to 2900, and and I have the, as far as the high-end equalization, I have that thing up at 3,000 hertz, and I have that as high as it'll go, and I have a fairly, one of the widest bandwidth on that. Now, I could make adjustments to the mid-range. Maybe that'll affect what you're hearing.
All right, mid-range should be flat. On a 3-band EQ, you should always keep your mid-range flat. The whole idea about a 3-band EQ is a top to mid-range balance and the bottom to mid-range balance. And if you boost the mid-range, it's so much harder for your top and bottom to balance there. So you want to make sure that your mid-range is flat. Roger?
Okay. Actually, at this point, I want the equalizer and the parametric on the second band is now in an off. So we don't have any mid-range being added.
That's sure what you said there. That mid-range 1K mid-range should be in the flat mode, neither cut nor boost. Roger?
Okay. Yes. At this point, it is in an off mode, so there is no equalization on the mid-range.
All right. And so then we want to. Is the bottom flat also?
No, but. The bottom, and actually I had conversation with you way back when I got this radio, I had too much bass on it. So on the bottom end, the lowest it goes is 100 cycles. I have this thing at a bandwidth of 4, which is a fairly narrow bandwidth, and I have it down at a -5 setting, so that's cutting back on the bass a little bit.
Yeah, okay, let's keep that now. Let's go to treble EQ, and I want you to take that parametric center frequency to 2.5K. 2.5K on the parametric EQ. Roger? Center frequency for the parametric at 2.5K.
Okay, yeah, let me make a change here. Okay, now we're at 2.5 on that, and I had been running that. Wait, let me just check something here. Okay, Jim. Yeah, the center frequency. I mean, on the center, I have it at 1500. I mean, that's the highest I can go on that, and at this point I have the high band one is at 2500, and I used to have it at 3.
Yeah, you want to make that mid-range 1K. Drop it to 1K, not 1.5K, but 1K on the mid-range. Roger?
Yes, mid-range on. Okay, the mid-range now is at 1000.
Excellent, excellent. Now, and we're 2.5K on the parametric, and how much are we boosting on that?
Okay, at the 2.5, it's boosted all the way at a 10, and that's the highest it goes. I have a bandwidth of a 1, which is the widest bandwidth. Well, actually, I mean, I could go to a 0 on that. I don't know if that would change that or not.
So you're at the widest band pass on the 2.5 parametric?
Yes.
Okay, and what would be the other peak? How can you make that more peak than less broad?
Yes. Okay, this is at a 4, so it's at a less broad at this point.
Okay, I started to lose that last transmission. Repeat.
Okay, yeah, now I have the bandwidth at a 4, which is less broad than the 1 I was running it.
Okay, I tell you what, come to 2.2K, and back to a 4 bandwidth. 2.2K, back to a 4 bandwidth. Roger?
Okay, yeah, that's where I am now. I'm at 2200 hertz, level of 10, and a bandwidth of 4.
Roger. Now, why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio?
Oh, what I really enjoy the radio. I had an Icon before this, the 7610. I started off and had a whole bunch of Yaesus starting in the beginning. This radio, I like the size and the functionality of it. Really enjoy the digital noise processing when I need it, which isn't that often. Also like the reflectivity of it, and the fact that it has a variable bandwidth on the receive that you can just change bandwidth. So it's just a nice versatile radio, and I really enjoy using it.
All righty. Maybe I would want to drop a little bit off the bottom end. One click bass roll from where you are. One click bass roll from where you are.
Okay, well this is one click, and I was running it at a -5, and now we're down to a -6.
All right, I wish I had a better copy on you. I tell you what, why don't you go back now to your ALC, since we've been messing around with our EQs. It's a good idea to go back to your ALC and verify that you are running mid-scale to 2/3, and use your mic level control to adjust the ALC for reading mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Yeah, I'm finding this thing when I'm increasing the mic on this thing, it's actually dropping the ALC. Although it looks like it's pretty much mid-range now. But in order to do that, I have the processor off. I can kick in the processor, and then I can read both meters simultaneously, the compression meter and the ALC, if that's helpful.
Not necessary. We're just we're going to stick with the ALC at mid-scale. I'm sorry, with the ALC at mid-scale to 2/3, and the mic, the preamp. Hello, scatterbrain. The compressor at a 3. Roger.
Okay. Well, let me kick in the compression. See what happens here, and it might be the function of this radio. It also has this infamous AMC control, which I pretty well have played with. So now when I kick in compression with that mic gain, we're running awful hot on the compression. Let me just I can bring the compression down, which I'm doing here. However, that's not really dropping it on the that's not really dropping it on the meter here. It seems to be a function with this radio. If I run the mic gain up to where you're saying that I get the ALC that I need, conversely, I have the compression all the way down to 0 on this, and it's still reading peaking 10 or so on the meter.
Roger that. Very strange. Very strange. So, do you have an output control on that compressor, or just an input control?
Control on that compressor, or just an input control?
Well, it would just be an input control. I guess some other radio, the output, but this would just be input to my knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's normal, but there are some radios that do have not only an input, but they do have an output control, which gives you a little more latitude, but you have to know what you're doing there when you adjust the output. You get the front end looking right, and then bring the output down and whatever. But anyway, that's not the case here. I think if what we're looking for out of that compressor is only about 1/3 of its capabilities. It just should be loafing. I mean, you could theoretically go without it, but it does help you hit that 3 dB dynamic range, Roger.
If you hit that 3 dB dynamic range, Roger.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Let me fool around with this. Make these two things work more between the compression and the ALC more in tandem. What we're looking for. Right now, this thing could be hitting peaks of upwards to 15, and my ALC is maybe peaking at 2/3 at the highest at this point. So I think I'm going to have to fool around with this and maybe get things more in line here.
Roger. Now, how close are you working your mic?
I'm probably about 1 inch or so from the mic.
All right, you need to be at least 3 inches back from that mic. I would run that mic about 3 inches back, and let me hear you at 3 inches distance from that mic.
Okay, now we are, I would say, about 3 inches from the microphone.
Oh, it makes a big difference, bud. It makes a big difference. You're getting a tremendous bass boost proximity effect by working that mic that close. I would come back, try 4 inches away from that mic.
Okay, I would say I'm probably about 4 inches away from the microphone now.
I would run it just like that, 3 to 4 inches, no closer. And I would go back and double check my ALC from working it back at 3 inches. Roger, your level's going to be different now, so go back and check your ALC.
Okay. Well, the ALC is picking up, well, it's pretty much more like about half and maybe up to 60% on the peaks at this point. So I think if I could increase my gain and get that up a little higher, if need be.
Yeah, because when you move from 1 inch to 3 inches back or 4 inches back, your level is going to shift. And that's why you need to go back and double-check your ALC for correct mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain control.
Okay. Well, then we'll, that's probably about where it should be now, and the processing is maybe 3-4 or so. So that it seems like maybe it's better working it back, and that's not the way I have been using this microphone, but we'll try it this way.
Exactly. Now, I think we've got some pretty good fidelity going here. If you could give me something longer that we could get a good recording, maybe 20 seconds about something that we can get a good recording since we've got you kind of lined out there, Roger.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Well, I guess I could talk about my antennas. I have a 132-foot end fed, I mentioned up about 30 feet, and then a dipole, and I just put up this 40-meter end-fed this afternoon, got it up. I was having problems with it. The antenna hitting branches of this tree, which most of the branches were dead, so I put a whole bunch of poles together and kind of whacked at them and got rid of the dead wood, and now the antenna is not touching anything, and it seems to be working pretty well.
Roger, Bob. All right, sounding good, buddy. And if you want to hear it, go to YouTube, do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 11/5/21, and that will take you directly to this recording, Roger.
Okay, very good, Jim. Thank you, as always, for all your help and all the good work you do for everyone. Have a great, safe, and happy weekend. This is N3GKV, clear at 73.
Roger. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you can, join us next Friday. This is KC9VKV, 10 to 5. At 5, we turn into a pumpkin. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, KC9VKV. Kilo Delta 8, Kilo Zulu Charlie.
Kilo Zulu Charlie. Come back slowly, phonetically, with the call sign.
Sure thing, Jim. It's Kilo Delta 8. Kilo Zulu Charlie. Roger?
Roger. Zulu Charlie. And what's the name there?
This is Tim, Tango India Mike, just shy of the shores of Lake Michigan in West Michigan.
Roger, Tim. And what radio are you running, sir?
The ever-elusive 7300, sir.
Oh, somebody else had made a wise choice. I love those radios. All right, why don't you, I've got a good copy on my local antenna system, and so why don't you give me about 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, Roger?
Roger, well, I'll start from the desk mic on out. Currently using an ICOM FM50 desk mic into a 7300 ICOM. To get me through the noise, I've got an ACOM 1010 linear, approximately 600 to 700 watts at this point on an in-fed my antenna 8010 at about 130 feet. I'm about 17 feet up from the gutter line of a single-story house out to the tree line into an L pattern, which goes against any common sense on paper, but the L pattern seems to give me more of a omnidirectional effect, and therefore the in-fed seems to work pretty well for me here on 40 meters. So that about ties it up.
Roger, Tim. Okay, let's review your setup. We suggest your compressor on at a 3, a token amount, but it does what we need to do to reach a 3 dB dynamic range at the end. So compressor on at a 3, Roger?
Okay, you're going to need to walk me through some of the basics, Jim. Now, I've had this radio for a while. Have not gotten into it because I got lost one day, and well, long story short, if you could just give me the basic walkthrough of how to get there. I know, obviously, the menu button on the face, and then where do we go? There's so many sub-channels, it's hard to keep them straight for me. Roger?
I tell you, man, you're really close. I'm looking at your audio on a VU meter, and I can tell by the way the VU meter hangs as to what your dynamic range is, and it's just hanging really close. What's your current mic gain?
Unknown at this time. Going into the settings now, under tone control, yes?
No, under volume, mic volume. I'll tell you what, let's do this. Why don't you back off that mic about an inch and let me hear you.
Okay, no worries. I'm about 4 inches from the microphone off to the side of my face to prevent from the popping, and that should give you a pretty good idea.
Roger. Now, okay, let me give you some notes, and then you can find them at your leisure. Roger?
Oh, Roger, Jim. I appreciate it.
All right, starts with compressor on at a 3. Compressor engaged at a 3. It's a token amount, but it does just what we need it to do. So starts with compressor on at a 3. Roger?
Roger, compressor at 3.
All right, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak fairly rapidly, 100, 200, 300, so you can get that ALC meter up where you can see what it's doing. Adjust your mic gain to where the ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC by way of mic gain manipulation.
Okay, got it.
All right, and so that should get you at 3 dB dynamic range, and your average percent of peak modulation would be about 80 to 85%. So you should be super loud there. Your EQ sounds pretty good. It's hard to say if maybe you might add a couple of clicks more top-end treble EQ from where you are. Roger?
Okay, yeah, right now it's completely neutral as from factory settings.
But you don't know what the factory settings are, Roger?
Okay, correct.
Roger, so I'm suggesting a 2 clicks treble boost from wherever you are, Roger?
Roger.
And I think you should be in pretty good shape if you could check in next Friday and we can listen and see how those numbers gelled out, Roger?
Okay, Jim, I'll do. I appreciate the guidance this evening or this afternoon, and I do appreciate it and wish you a good day.
Roger, 73, sir. You have a good afternoon and pleasant weekend. And again, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will, along with today's date, 11/05/21, that will take you directly to this recording so you can hear our various shenanigans. Roger?
Roger, I appreciate it. Thank you. 73.
Yes, sir. 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If we're 5 to 5, so at 5 we turn into a pumpkin. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 8, Florida, Lima Tango.
Golf Victor Kilo.
There's a Florida station in there. Is that a Roger?
Kilo 8,
Roger,
Golf
Whiskey
Victor
8,
Kilo.
Florida, Lima Tango.
FLT, is that a Roger?
That is a Roger, sir.
All right, and what's the name, sir?
The name here is Mike India Kilo Echo. I am located in the state of Michigan, city of Flip.
Roger, Mike, and what radio are you running, sir?
One of these oddball dudes, L-Craft K3.
Roger that. All right, why don't you give me about 15 seconds and tell me about your antenna system?
Alrighty, no problem. What you're presently listening to is a, excuse me, a rotatable dipole made by JK Engineering. It's up about 65 feet in the air. I'm running the L-Craft K3 at 100 watts.
Alrighty. Gosh, you could use a little more top-end EQ if you know where your equalizer is on board there, plus 2 clicks treble boost from wherever you are.
All right. Well, I'll see if I can do that real quick, and give me just a second. Over.
Roger that. And we want to be sure, is that a 2-band, 3-band, 8-band? I'm not sure about the EQ on that radio.
This one is the, well, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 band.
Roger that. Well, okay, so you're going to head there. What's your top end treble frequency range?
I don't know if I can give you the exact frequency, but it looks like it goes from minus 15 to a plus 3 on the scale that's here.
Yeah, Is it a parametric?
I don't think so.
So you don't have a band shape control for the frequencies, just a plus or minus control?
No, I don't. I have to do a little bit differently here, so I do have it up on my screen. So give me just a second. And you think it's the very top end, or maybe a couple bands down?
That would be the top end, but it should say what the frequency range is.
All right, well, I have it set at 0, so I'm going to increase it here just a second, and I'll be right back with you.
All right, can you adjust it while you speak?
I don't know, I never tried that. Let me see if it'll work, and... Whoops. All right, there's +1 right there. How's that sound?
Sounded like. Are you sure you're on your treble EQ on your equalizer? It sounded like your audio level came up, and I shouldn't be hearing that at that frequency range.
I might have got a little closer to the mic, and I get a little excited. I think I'm getting kind of old. Over.
Roger, I was actually hearing room noise come up. That's why I was wondering. But anyway, so it's an 8-band, so you're pretty much up in the top end now. Do you have something on the lower end? First off, everything from 700 cycles to 1.5K should be flat. Everything from 700 cycles to 1.5 should be flat, neither cut nor boost. Roger?
Oh, all right. I have my, I kind of have a high voice a little bit. I have my bass set, I think, is about 3 dB below 0. So I can possibly up those real quick, and we'll see what happens, okay?
Well, actually, it's just be flat. We want those to be flat. Like equalizer is designed to boost the bottom balance to the mid-range and boost the top balance to mid-range. So it's all based on the mid-range being flat. And the mid-range is, say, 700 cycles to 1.5K. So maybe there's 3 controls in that range, 700 cycles or thereabouts to 1.5K thereabouts. And all those should be neither cut nor boost. They should be in the flat mode. Roger?
Alrighty. I'm gonna increase the bottom scale as we talk, and right there it shows flat. Over.
And what frequency is that, sir?
Oh, that's got to be the very low, like 60 cycles or below.
Just put 60 cycles flat. We don't, that's too low. We don't want to mess with that. So 50 or 60 cycles flat. Now, up from that, it should be 80, and then 160. Is that a Roger?
Okay, I believe that probably would be what it is. So, as we're speaking here, I'm going to try to do the other one. And I'm bringing the number 2 up to flat also.
You're talking about number 2 from the bottom, Roger?
That is correct. Over.
All right, so why don't you just go ahead and flat everything from mid-range on down to the bottom, just flat. from the bottom control all the way up to 1.5K, just flat. Roger?
Okay. That's probably flat. All the way across the mid-range is flat. And then I've got, like the very top one is pretty high also. The very last control is all the way up as you suggested, over.
I pull that back to flat too, so you have everything neither cut nor boost. Everything is flat, and we'll just start from there.
I didn't know it was that bad. I just kind of set it to where the book had suggested. So right now everything is flat.
All right. So let's do the bottom end. We want to do 180 cycles. Do you have that? 200 cycles, something like that?
I can't remember exactly which bands these things work on, so I'll just have to do the very bottom, over.
We don't want that. Oh gosh. If you knew what the bottom one was, there are multiple. So if it's like 40 cycles, 80 cycles, 160 cycles, like that, we need to know what that bottom one is.
All right, just give me a second. I'll see if I can find the answer you're looking for.
I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Do you know where your mid-range is? 1.5 or 1K? Do you know where that is?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then how many EQs down from that is all the way down to the bottom?
Looks like about 4.
Okay, so the second one up, why don't you boost that +5? +5 clicks from where it is. 5 clicks boost from flat.
There's the second one, over.
All right, now the one above that, number 3, up from the bottom, do that +5 clicks boost from where it is, +5 clicks boost from plus or minus 0.
All right, there's the number 3.
All right, take number 3, another 2 clicks boost.
All right, there's number 3.
Okay, and number 2 boosted up about the same amount as 3.
All right, number 2 and number 3 are set the same.
All right, let's see, number 4, is that 1K?
The book is about 400 pages thick with this radio. I should have it memorized, but I don't. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. Go back to second from the bottom, plus 2 clicks boost from where it is.
All right, that's the second one from the bottom.
All right, and then the third one from the bottom, plus 2 clicks from where it is.
All right, there's the number 3.
All right, and now all the way to the top one, and can we get 2.5 on that? 2.5?
Oh, I'm pretty sure you can. So, yes. Give me just a second.
All right, when you find that, we want to go plus 2 clicks boost from where it is.
All right, there's the very top one.
All right, how far can you go up? Can you go to 2.7 on that one?
I think that's about 2.7 right there.
Yeah, it sounded pretty good, sir. Sounded pretty good. You could go on the third one. No, on the third one. One more click boost on the third one from the bottom.
All right, there's the third one from the bottom. How is that looking on your scope now?
Looking pretty good. Now, why don't you give me another story there for about 15 seconds, something about what you like best about your radio or something.
All righty. Well, I enjoy it because it's got a lot of technology in it, a lot of it that I'm still getting used to. And I originally bought it for the noise blinkers, and I had a really hard problem next door with my neighbor running his grow light, and I had hoped that when I purchased it that it would have taken care of the grow light problem, but unfortunately that didn't work out over.
Roger. What do you have? A boost? What is that? An impulse noise filter?
I have the first generation. What do you call it? Yeah, I'm getting old. I do have a noise filter. I also have an attenuator, and I was not able to take it out. The only reason I got it out, the company came and talked to him and told him that if they didn't cool it on the energy usage, that he was going to have to buy a new transformer, and he didn't like that very well, over.
Roger. Well, that seems to me to be the least of his worries, Roger.
Well, at that point in time, it was illegal to grow that in the county here, but now, since I guess it's been 2 years, and everybody's growing it now, so theoretically, it's cheaper for him to go buy the stuff than to actually make it grow on his own.
Roger that. Well, listen here. I see 10 minutes past 5. I got to get out of here. You sound pretty good. Maybe we could work on this next Friday if you'd like to do that. I think we're really close now. You have a nice bottom end, a nice mid-range, and a nice top end. You know, it's you probably could stand a little bit more on the bottom end, but at the same time, you have a good balance there that could go QSO or contest, Roger.
Oh, alrighty. Thank you so much. I noticed my output meter is dancing around a little more than it normally has, so in that respect, I guess it's a good thing. And I don't want to hold you up because I know you said you got to go, so thank you so much for helping me out, over.
Roger. That's what we do, sir. And like I say, if you get a chance, go to YouTube, do a call letter search, KC9VKV, along with today's date, 11/5/21, and we have all the audio there, and you can check it out and see what we were doing and what we did from the beginning and what we wound up with at the end. Roger?
Roger. All right, thank you so much, and I'm glad that I had a chance to talk to you, and thank you so much for your help. So, KC9VKV, W8FLT. Thank you again, over.
Roger, Mike 73, sir. And with that, we got to get out of here. I see by the clock there's a dead fly. We always use that. And so we got to get out of here. So we'll say 73 all. If you participated and would like to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, along with today's date, 11/5/21, it will take you to this recording. And so we got to get out of here. We'll be returning this frequency back to normal amateur use. This is KC9VKV, clear.